can't allow, and I'm going to be kind of crude, but it's the truth, this slumlord to continue to devastate our city. He's not accountable or responsible for that shopping center and what he has done for the last several years to the community. I'm embarrassed that the mayor and some city council and volunteers from throughout the city go once a month to clean up that shopping center. What tells you that about the property owner?
Shit.
Very bad. And in the past year, 2 years, we've had incidents there with killings, rapes, and a lot of fights.
You guys need to retweet this
people
shit.
hanging out during the day, and girls, ladies, grandmothers are scared to walk in that shopping center because they're always being approached. So what type of business is this going to open up? Even more people hanging out. Now you call it an inside recreation. Well, after hours, is it going to be an outside recreation for those people? I think code enforcement has been very lax with this shopping center. It's horrible. You're going to have a new hotel coming in right off the freeway. People are going to want to shop for things that they need. And where are they going to go?
Retweet
Back
this shit.
to Edgewood. So take into consideration the impact that this is going to have in this neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's Watson.
Next person, Yolanda Pena. I hope you're okay with going number 2.
Actually, let me do this real quick. Hold on.
You did that to me too, Jesse. Good evening, commissioners.
Oh, I can't get my keyboard.
My name is
Fuck.
Yolanda Rodriguez Pena, and I live at 17626 East Renwick Road in the city of Azusa. I am totally opposed to this arcade. I feel that the proposed coin operating video machine is not the right choice for the Edgewood Shopping Center and the surrounding neighborhoods. This shopping center has encountered and created many problems that make this arcade a bad fit. Trust me, I'm not against, redevelopment. I'm not against businesses at all. Mm-hmm. I just think that arcade is not a fit for that shopping center. We just lost our market there. It's like a ghost town there. We have the seniors that do live across the street. They would love a market. My sister goes to the senior center every day, and they're saying, ¿Dónde está la marqueta? They have to go on the bus and go to Superior, and it's a bigger store, Superior. So I think that we need to think of what is the need of the community, not just to put a business there just because we want to put a business there. We need to really think about what is the purpose for the residents that live in that neighborhood. I've been living there over 35 years. I wouldn't even go there with my granddaughters. Of course, you have men gawking. You have men drinking. I don't know if this gentleman, when he came in, if he even knows what's even happening there. He acts like it's Disneyland. It's not. I have bad news for him. But for years, and we've had problems there, complaints, men of hanging out at the center. Many from the morning. There's no more. They're not day laborers anymore. They're just there.
If you can, retweet this out, please.
And I am part of the Azusa Beautiful. We do have to clean once a month. We do it because we want to. We don't have to. But we pick up cigarettes, liquor bottles, beer cans in the bushes, and there they are, just standing there watching us. I'm like, we're picking up their stuff, but they really don't, because I guess no one tells them anything. We do have a security there. That's true. I did read somewhere that they were going to have security. Okay, so we have a security for the gym, security for the shopping center, security for this arcade. What the heck is that? What does that tell you? You need so much security there? Who's even going to want to go there? Other complaints are including there's trash, poor maintenance, security service. The security guys hangs out with the guys, and the traffic. I'm a school board member, as you know, but I'm thinking about the students. Gladstone High School, Murray School, Center School. Kids walk by there, and what's not to say they stop there after school? They should be going home doing their homework. Why can't we put something that's going to be more feasible to the children in the community? A bookstore. I heard people want to see a bike shop. I see people would like to see a homework house. Something productive, something that we can do to help our community. Not something that's going to, have a tournament. It's great. I'm glad that this gentleman wants to do something, but I'm sorry that the Edgewood Shopping Center is just not the place. I have so many these letters here that I just happened to put on Facebook talking about what was going to go on there, and I have all these different things that I even, typed up. Just we don't need it. We need a Whole Foods. Why is the shopping center on Nostra has all these Ross, a show, things kids can go to, I knew they had an arcade there also, but I guess it's not there any longer. But in the Pinkberry, you're going to have a gym there. Why isn't it something that's going to be healthy for our community? Is something wrong with the south side? I mean, that's telling me that. That's how I personally feel. Thank you.
Thank you. Next card is from Bob Donaldson.
Damn, all these people are pretty.
Good evening. Robert Donaldson, 257 East Russell Street. I'd like to ask the Planning Commission to look at this project very closely. I've lived on Russell Street right behind the Edgewood Shopping Center for over 36 years. I've seen and experienced the good and the bad from this shopping center. The overall condition of this shopping center, with overflowing trash receptacles, general lack of maintenance, and men hanging out in the center for hours on end, have had a negative effect on my home and neighborhood for years. How do you suppose this looks to potential home buyers when they visit this area? I feel that a coin-operated video store that would be open until midnight 7 days a week in this particular shopping center will have an adverse effect on this shopping center, the neighborhood, and our property values. This will just encourage more people to hang out around the center until midnight and beyond. Is this really the kind of entertainment our community needs? I went to the library to look at the packet, and two of the things that quickly struck me were that there were no restrooms shown in the plan. Where will these customers use a restroom? And the applicant says that they use their neighboring businesses' restrooms. Well, most of that place is empty, and those that are there either don't have public restrooms or are closed by the time most of this is. We had a problem years ago when Brownie's Bar was in there with people urinating in the alley, and when there was a walkway through to Russell Street, they'd come around the other side of the wall and urinate on the wall on our side of the street, which is pretty unhealthy and not a very good quality of life for us that lived on that street. The other one that you had brought up is I saw there was no plans for the second story. I know that's the old B of A building, and was wondering what they were going to do with that, and he's answered that. He says, that the big parking lot is one of the advantages to his business. And with the new gym going in there, with the amount of parking that's going to be going in with that, is this going to be conducive with that? When doing some research on video arcades, one overwhelming theme kept coming up, and from the drawing that was in the packet at the library, is for safety and security reasons, the store layout must allow a clear line of sight to all areas of the store. From the drawing, the line of sight from the display and cashier area and the office are blocked by the console stations and the four sections of arcade cabinets. To me, this is inviting illegal and unsafe activity. Any and all crime that is committed in and around this shopping center has had a detrimental effect on my home and our neighborhood, its quality of life, our property values, and our peace of mind. I ask you to please consider our neighborhood and deny the minor use permits. And I have a couple of reports that I can give you here. One is from the Center of Problem-Oriented Policing that is dealing with arcades. And the applicant says that the new arcades are so much different from the old arcades. There's an article here about the police shutter an arcade in, I can't remember what city this is in, but this is from 2013, Bakersfield in 2013. And as far as the security guard is concerned, here's one from Seattle where there was a robbery took place inside the arcade, and the statement of the owner was, "We are very careful, we are a very safe environment. We do have security cameras, surveillance, and security officers on site. They never caught the perpetrator."
This is really old information.
So these aren't as safe as they say they are.
So he's submitting a lot of old information. As far as the
Thank you,
restroom
Mr.
thing is
Olson.
concerned also, we are going to have a
Next card is from
restroom.
Linda Alvarez.
So we go. I think that's Kai back there too in the purple shirt right behind Watson.
Good
Welcome.
evening. My name is Linda Alvarez. I live at 452 East Mason, which is like 2 blocks away from the shopping center. I've been very involved with the community, and I just don't feel this is a good idea. You know, the arcade is going to generate more crime and more problems for us. The shopping center itself is very dirty, like Yolanda said, Peggy, and Bob. I mean, we're all saying the same thing. I do participate in the cleanup. I have gathered several liquor bottles. And you know, men urinating on the side of the shopping center, that's just not a way of life for us. As I was driving one time with my daughter, she's 16, I saw a gentleman running to the side of the shopping center. I knew exactly what he's going to do. I pulled over. My daughter said, "No, Mom, just keep going." Why? I wanted to bring to attention that, you know, you don't do that. You don't urinate. With this arcade having one bathroom, what is that going to cost us? To see this again? I mean, we see it all over, you know, men from the shopping center to the park, drunk, urinating everywhere. It's unhealthy for us. And these cards that they said they sent out, I'm sorry, I never received one. And like I said, I should have been one of those persons, as well as my neighbors that are back here. I've never received a card notifying me that there was an arcade coming up. It was a word of mouth that I found out, and that's the reason why I'm here. And I'm opposed. I please ask you to consider and to take into account what we're going through already with the crime, as well as whatever else we have to live through and see, and our children as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ms. Alvarez, did you fill out a card?
Yes, I did.
Because we would like to check that.
You better fill out the
just
damn
check your
card.
address to see if it was within the distance requirement.
Sure.
Okay. So, and we'll get back to you on that.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I'll wait on my thoughts after.
Okay, next card is from Jorge Rosales.
I'll chime in on all this after it's all done. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the rebroadcast of the City of Azusa Council meeting.
Welcome, sir.
Please retweet. Let everybody
Thank
know
you,
this is the
Chairperson.
fate of Super Arcade.
And commissioners, my name is Jorge Rosales, and I live at 157 North Calvados Avenue in the city of Azusa. I live completely, not even close to Edgewood Shopping Center. But I'm still opposed to the placement of an arcade in that particular shopping center. As a matter of fact, I'll deviate from my comments a bit before I get into the comments, but I live close to Citrus Crossing. There used to be an arcade there, and as you all know, it never came back. I'm wondering why. So I went back and I did a little bit of research, but you know, back on December the 10th, 2014, the Planning Commission approved a zoning code amendment 236, which, in addition to small development code cleanup, as it was addressed in the staff report, it included, in my words, a major change to the definition of a shopping center. Previously approved shopping center only allowed no more than 15% non-retail in the shopping center. That particular amendment, in my opinion, was earmarked just so that the Planning Commission and the city could accommodate the World Gym plus or minus 35,000 square feet, which would have exceeded drastically that definition of shopping centers. Now, staff wants to utilize this zone change that was done back in December of 2014 to accommodate what is labeled in the staff report as an indoor commercial recreation facility. That's pretty much the language that I used in the staff report. Very randomly, they use the word arcade. So they call it, again, an indoor commercial recreation facility. Now, staff is saying that per Chapter 4 of the Azusa General Plan, Economy and Community, that justifies the accommodation for this indoor recreation facility. Goal number 1, build and maintain a strong, diverse economy in Azusa. I don't know if that really satisfies that requirement. And it's supported by Policy 1.5, high quality, flexible commercial spaces. High quality, flexible commercial spaces. Goal number 10, the city desires to strengthen the retail and commercial base, supported by Policy 10.1. The city endeavors to address key gaps in retail and commercial services. I'm not sure if that really serves as a key gap retail need. Goal 11, create a unique place with high quality, again, of life for its residents. Supported by policy, there's no policy supporting it. That's just a statement by staff. How does that Akana-operated arcade gets classified as a high quality of life for any community? I don't know that. And I ask you the same question. Do you know if that really provides a high quality of life for any community? I still have some time, so nowhere on the staff report does it say what the extended hours consist of. There's only one place. That's on, I believe, Exhibit A, the police comments. Nowhere on the staff report does it say.
Thank you, Mr. Rosales. Next card, Rachel Mills.
Where's Ultra David when you need him? Damn. Oh.
Welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rachel Mills. I'm from Monrovia. And I'd like to talk to you guys about the fact that I am a woman. Sorry. I'm a woman.
She looks familiar.
And I have attended these arcade sessions with my fiance. I felt safe there. These men and women show up to this arcade. They are not the ones who go and make the comments and jeer. An arcade would not bring that sort of man and presence to this shopping center. I would feel safe walking into that shopping center with this arcade present, dressed like this, because that is not the type of person that is at that arcade. When I've shown up weekly, it's their sons and their grandsons present at that sort of event. The people that are presently at that location, probably who are urinating in that area, are people who are buying alcohol at other locations. And I may be from Monrovia, but I take the public transit around here enough to know that the businesses that all these people are getting that from are businesses that are selling alcohol. And that's not the problem. An arcade would go and enrich this community, providing distraction from the potential to buy that alcohol. This arcade has never sold alcohol or any sort of paraphernalia that would encourage that sort of behavior from young individuals. Young individuals could come here to the center and have a higher, I heard the word higher quality, that they would not have a lower quality to go and buy cigarettes, to buy drugs, or any other sort of form of things that could go and bring them to a lower quality of life. They would go and they would talk with other people and have an enthusiasm for something that they have weekly. My fiance used to go weekly to Walnut, and he would enjoy himself, and he'd come home and feel excited and exuberated that he had just gone and spent hours and hours having fun with his friends playing video games. And it may seem trivial to some people, but that's enough to sometimes provide a higher quality of experience to someone. And that's what an arcade does. It's not a place for people to go and run amok, to get drunk, to urinate in public. It's a higher quality. And it's an experience that I'm sad that this arcade has had to fight for recently because of all these problems. It's a place that provided a lot of joy and love to this smaller subgroup of people. And if you guys accept this into your community, you guys will be loving a community that loves a lot of people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was good.
Next card is from Ted.
That's the
Black.
difference between the old shit and the new shit. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, wait. Oh, there.
Welcome.
Okay, that's her fiance,
Thank you.
I believe. Yep.
My name is Ted Pollock.
That's
I
solid.
am also in Monrovia. I'm her fiance. I'm 31 years old, and I am a software professional. And I go to the arcade every week, or at least I used to when it was open in Walnut. People like me, my age, my background, my profession, are the new face of arcades. It's not people of maybe lower standards. People like us who grew up in that era, who have now gone off into the world, become adults, and found jobs and started lives, still like that form of entertainment. As for me, I especially like the competition as it's part of a new wave that is happening in gaming where broadcasting and the presentation of it has become closer to a sport. I can honestly say that myself and all the other patrons of the arcade absolutely supported the local businesses around the area, providing income. I can also say that despite there would only be one restroom, there was never, in my experience, having gone to the arcade consistently for about 2 years, was there ever a single problem with the bathroom being unavailable. The bathroom was kept under lock and key, and you could not simply just walk in and use it, so it was kept under somewhat secure circumstances. That being the case, I'd also like for you all to consider that people like us just want to have a fun place to go to, perhaps after work, to wind down at the end of the day, and to consider, to consider that it is changing. It's not so much that the arcade is changing, but the people that are going are changing. That we are very happy to have this location, and we would conduct ourselves in a manner befitting the city that would be beneficial to all. And I would like you to consider that the traditional idea of arcades being a place where young, truant teenagers hang out is just no longer the case. Arcades are now a place for people my age, maybe a little bit younger, to come, congregate, talk, and compete, and to enjoy each other's company. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toth. Another applause. Thank you so much.
Next card is from Gio Cano.
Yeah. You guys can totally hear, if you guys have been here from the beginning, you guys can see that it's a matter of how the old perception of arcades versus the new one. And
My name's Gio Cano. I live on 550 East McKinley Street, which will be, 2-3 blocks from where the location of the arcade will be. Just want to inform everybody. I know of Mike just by getting welcomed into the community, just by playing these games, making new friends. So I totally support everything that he does. He doesn't even know me really. Just from what he provides for the community, because that's what we are. We're a community. We're all friends. We're family. Stuff has happened to one of another. Unfortunately, someone, I believe, passed away. Mike here helped raise money. We paid for the kid's funeral. So we're a tight-knit group. As for the upcoming train, it would be good because people coming from San Diego, people will come from San Francisco, Los Angeles, big tournaments. They'll use a train. You know, it's better than driving on the freeway, jam-packed traffic. Other things about talking about the beer bottles, stuff like that. We do remember there is a recycling center there. I have recycled there myself. They do leave trash there. And for those people who stand out all night long, that's the donut house. They're open, I believe, 24 hours. And my father does know those men, and they're all construction workers. They just go after work, and they have coffee, and they talk all night. What I know of them, they're no harm. They actually worked on my house, where me and my family live. Also, from where Azusa used to be, this shopping center, we did have a Lucky's back maybe like 15, 20 years ago. We had a Chinese food restaurant. A lot of those businesses have left. You know, with the Super Arcade coming there, it will bring more business. More kids will come. As you could see by where the Burger King is, all that shopping center has to be redone. Maybe this could start it off, possibly. There'll be kids there. Other businesses will want to come in. Maybe we'll get a Starbucks there. You know, kids could come, do homework there, go play games after they finish their homework. There's a lot of possibilities which Mike Watson could bring to this community. I think it would be really good. For me, I go play at his arcade, never seen a problem, always been able to use the restroom. I'm currently 27 years old. And yes, there are kids from the age 21 to 27, 28, 29, 30. And also people come around the world from other countries to come play at his arcade. It's so famous. And I found about his arcade through the internet. So I think it could bring in a lot more people and clean up the community. And from where the community was before, that shopping center was nasty. But then it got a facelift. You know, it all got repainted, all restuccoed. So I believe he could bring more to the community, bring more money in, and possibly bring more business. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Next card is from Armando Ramos.
Damn, it's not me. I'm stuck at home. I can't make it out there. I wish I would have gone
Welcome,
there. I would have
Armando.
talked to. All right, let's hear from this next
Good
gentleman.
evening. Thank you for having me. Well, my name is Armando Ramos. I live in 317 South 2nd Street, Alhambra, California. I'm actually from Chicago. I moved here for the arcade. No, I'm just kidding. I actually moved here to enroll in Art Center College of Design. I moved 4 years ago. And ever since 2012, I didn't really have, say, a spot to hang out. I'm not the kind of guy that goes drinking or, other kind of vices or whatever. So it was pretty hard for me to find a spot to, make friends or just interact with people, basically. So when I found out about Super Arcade, I was thrilled and excited, and I've been going there ever since. But when it closed down last year, I was a little bit depressed, so finding another outlet to distract myself or whatever was kind of difficult for me. But I've been managing. I've been working full time. I've been getting my portfolio ready for school, and just hearing about the arcade possibly opening again has really inspired me, and it's brought me a little bit of happiness and hope. Now, when you think of the word arcade, I'm sure that there's a lot of stigma associated with the name arcade. You think of vandalism and drugs, but I think I agree that that's definitely back in the day. Everything's evolving, everything's changing, nothing is static. I think everything evolves at a certain point, and I think right now, this decade, or this generation, so to speak, is a generation of change. And I strongly believe that opening an arcade in this community will help the surrounding locations or businesses grow in terms of, just to help out the community. I think that Mike Watson has put in a lot of work into this. He hears a lot of feedback from the community, and everybody just anxious to hear what the next step is going to be. So if you consider it, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Armando. Are there any other speakers
Gracias, Tocayo.
on this item F1? Come on up.
Where's Kai? There's Kai. Give him the fucking backswing blow. All right, let's hear what.
Please introduce
It's got to be
yourself.
Kai.
Give us your address.
My name is Oliver Ling. I'm from Alhambra, California. And this community Mike Watson has spoken of, I've been a part of for 14 years. I don't drink, I don't smoke, so it's like as far as like going out to bars and stuff like that, that was never my thing. And so I always needed something to do like after class or after work, and it just turned out to be through the fighting game community. And so over 14 years, I've met a lot of people from all different walks of life. I've met doctors, lawyers, engineers, and dentists. It's like this is a community where two people from totally different walks of life can become friends when they normally wouldn't, and all because of common interest. And I've seen this community do a lot of good. Like I've seen them step up for other members who've lost their homes to fires, to people who have lost loved ones and needed help with funeral expenses. And 3 years ago, there was the tsunami in Japan. A couple of our members, we threw a charity tournament and raised $30,000 in expenses to help for relief out there. So and Mike Watson, I've known him from as long as I've been in this community, and I know he's an honorable man. I'd trust him with a lot of things, and I would definitely appreciate it if you would consider allowing us to open this arcade.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. I don't know if there's any
Anyone
more
else?
speakers there, but we're going to find out right now.
Okay, we'll close the public participation portion of this public hearing.
Thank you for tuning in on the restream.
And I was just going to wonder if the articles that were passed out have been, and we'll make those available on the dais here. So if anybody wanted to look at those.
Oh, man. Please retweet this. The fate of Super Arcade lies in the balance today.
If it's okay with the commission, I'd like to call back up Mr. Watson. Maybe he can address some of the issues that he heard and give him the opportunity to speak on them. Go ahead, Mr. Watson.
Let's go, Mike.
Is it okay with the commission? Okay, go ahead.
Hell yeah, it's
for
okay.
allowing me to speak again. I hear a lot of the concerns of the people that have lived in Azusa for so much time, and I can't really apologize for what has happened because I'm not part of your community yet, and hopefully you'll accept me into your community. Even though I'm just one man, I can promise you we will bring change. The group of people and the following we currently have, we are definitely not troublemakers. And I'd like to reiterate the fact that the 4 years I was in Walnut, we had 0 issues with the police department there. If there was any issues on the road to getting this far, we spoke to the City of Azusa Police Station. They followed up with our claims, and they found it all to be true, which is the reason they even considered allowing us to open an arcade in your city. I believe we will bring a positive attitude, and also the current shopping center is quite vacant, which is probably another reason why there's people just hanging around empty units and whatnot. As even when I went to go check the location for the first time, there was a couple guys out there just having a drink, which is something I didn't like, but with more people occupying units there, I think we can definitely deter these people from just hanging around because they're just looking for somewhere to kind of hide and enjoy their drink, whereas we're a fully functional business that brings something to the community. As far as our late hours, there's the 2 units around us. There's a Taco King that is open 24 hours next door to us, and the donut shop is also 24 hours. And to my knowledge, the gym that is opening will also be 24 hours. And those are the 24-hour units that will be operating. We will have a security guard full time, and the gym is supposedly having a security guard too. So just us incorporating more security guards, I think that's a positive. Where someone mentioned it was a negative, I think it's a positive where people will feel safe. We're trying to make a change here, and if the current state of this plaza requires security, then that is something we would definitely be conforming to, and we would love for the day where no one would need security guards. So hopefully, we can make a big change in this plaza itself. And I would also like to state that in regards to like urination stuff, I mean, my current customers I'm bringing in, they had zero issues with our restroom. The most I've seen is that like 3-person line going into our restroom. Everyone's really respectable, and we're a real tight-knit like kind of community. And in terms of also the market closing and whatnot, there's plenty of space in the mall for everybody, I believe. And if they see a successful business operating in that plaza, I believe we can attract more businesses come just from people, scoping out the area, seeing that there's a lot more foot traffic. And I mean, I can only bring good to the community. I can't promise anything, but I can promise I'm not bringing anyone bad to your city. I'm bringing, a lot more customers that would generally not even come visit the city of Azusa to Azusa, and let them see what your city is about. Let us try to help you grow and give us a chance here. And if there's anything wrong, or, well, I don't want to say give us a chance and something goes wrong, kick us out, but I mean, these permits are kind of conditional and they will be reviewed every so often. And if we're not making any progress, you guys do have the right to, come here once again and plead your case. But I really suggest you give us a chance and let us show you what we're about. We're just a real strong community. We bring good to the community. We'll enhance the businesses around us, and I really don't see anything wrong with that. So I hope I can change some of the minds of the people that have lived in this city for so long. And I don't want to feel as though we're invading you guys as much as we're here to kind of, in a sense, help. And we've run various charities to raise money for various problems that have arisen, such as funerals and natural disasters and whatnot. So I don't see that as being a negative. It's definitely a positive, and hopefully we can bring more positive to the city of Azusa when we get here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have any more questions for Mr. Watson?
I have one question.
Sure, go ahead.
Can you approach the podium again, Mr. Watson? What was your reason for leaving Walnut?
The rent was absolutely way too high. We were in a prime location right across the street from Mount San Antonio College, and the price they were asking was the same as, well, the new rent that I would like to get. It's actually less than what we were paying, and it's double the size. So in a sense, we're cutting our operating costs by more than half.
Thank you.
I have one question. Does somebody check like age after a certain time, or do they check IDs and that type of thing?
Normally, if you're under 18, we won't allow you in unless you're with a guardian or a parent after 10 p.m. And then we were operating till 3 a.m. and we had zero problems. So I don't see the current midnight as being a problem to the community at all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are your feelings on being able to operate but not being able to operate till midnight, closing at 9?
The problem is, like I said, most of our patrons are not kids. They are people with jobs and stuff, and they come to our tournaments after their work. So our tournaments used to start approximately at 9 p.m. So if you guys were only to allow us to open until 9 p.m., it would cut off maybe 75% of our income, and it wouldn't be a feasible operation.
Okay. Shirley, go ahead.
Thank you very much. So if we would request that more restroom facilities be built, would you be open for that?
I can talk to the leasing agent and the landlord to see if they can help me out with that. But once again, we operated under one restroom for the longest time. We had zero problems. I always had a key that was at the front desk. We never had anyone use the restroom to do anything inappropriate. There was no vagrants or drunks that would be allowed to use our restrooms. So, and we never had a graffiti problem, which also speaks a lot in terms of today's arcade. So, I mean, if that's something mandatory, I would definitely do everything I can just to get started with you guys. But I would like you to just consider the fact that we did have a lot of people there, and one restroom worked out perfectly fine, and it was well maintained.
Well, I mean, you got to consider you're double the space now with the same amount of bathrooms, so you probably want to consider that as well, right?
Understood, yes.
There's that, and in the conditions of approval, it would say must have commercial-grade surveillance cameras and maintained by the owner for a minimum of 30 days. It says may. If I read the actual paragraph, it says on a case-by-case basis, establishment may be required. If I change that to a must, how do you feel about that?
In terms of surveillance?
Yes.
I have no problem with that.
We'd have no problem with that.
No, sir.
That's the only questions I have for applicant.
Okay, any more?
One more
Go ahead.
comment. I just want to commend you on the way you've run your business, the sense of community from your clientele, and also the philanthropy work is commendable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Okay, so now it's open for discussion. Any commissioners have any comments or any more questions for staff? Commissioner Contreras?
Question for staff is, can the minor use permit be revoked? Can this be revoked if, let's say, hypothetically, if it got approved and things weren't as...
I'm going to let the city attorney answer that question.
I believe so, but the applicant would be entitled to due process. There would have to be a hearing, notice. There would be an opportunity to present evidence on the reasons for revocation. It is possible. It would be a more complicated.
And there is a process within the development code that outlines that, how we do that.
Right. Okay, thank you. That's for staff.
I want to comment on the way our staff reports are written. I'm in agreement with the comments that Mr. Rosales made. High quality does not really fit with games called Street Fighter and Combat. So I think matching the general plan conformance is a little bit of a stretch this time.
I have one more question for Mr. Watson. Were there any other locations in the community that you were looking at, or is this the only location?
I did try to look around Walnut due to the fact that we already had license there and we were familiar with the people in City Hall planning. But there's not too much retail available, and I wanted to make sure there was access for our people coming from afar, and just this particular plot just seemed to work out perfectly for us.
Okay. And again, same thing as Commissioner Avila made comments as far as commending you on what you've done and the philanthropy work that you've done, and the following that you have shows your character and what you've done with this following, because there's a following for this type of business. And as far as I feel, unfortunately, I don't think this is the right location for this type of business. Now, would I welcome you to Azusa? Absolutely. Would I welcome you to this particular location? I would have to say no, because of the fact that I think we need more retail there than we do this type of business. And in addition to that, for safety reasons as well. And now I know, and listening to the comments of the following that you have, safety has not been an issue, but I just think this will contribute more to people loitering and hanging out there, not people going into your business, but just hanging out at your business. So I don't think this is a right fit for the location, but I think this could be a good business for the community, just not at this center. So those are my comments.
No mames, güey.
I actually don't have any comments for you directly. Thank you. Now, just some quick questions to help me with my deliberations. Just to verify what the applicant said, so the Azusa Police Department did call the Walnut Police Department to verify that there was no previous incidents at the location, or?
I'm not too entirely sure if Peter Ho was from the police department. He was investigating, so he just kind of submitted comments and just restricting the hours because of the community itself. They didn't want to really grant the 24/7, so he did it to. But I can get more of a thorough from Peter and get back to you guys.
Okay. And then, as for the MUP, where Mr. Contreras brought that up, we could do it where there's like an annual review. It doesn't have to be done by this panel, but maybe by the police, and the report submitted to the Planning Commission, and then, I mean, not the commission, but the Planning Department, and then the department head can verified that they've been operating
in accordance with their conditions of approval?
Yeah, it
Come
would
on, baby.
We could have an annual review by, say, the planning director or by somebody else. But in order to act on that annual review, say they weren't in compliance with the conditions of approval and the minor use permit, in order to act on that, we would have to go through the formal process. But the review might trigger us to the staff to pay more attention to that and make they would be better, more on top of it. But at the end of the day, once they come around to actually acting, they're still subject to the same rules.
So this is just my thinking, and I can understand the stigma of arcades. I mean, when I was younger, I used to go to Pac-Man in Pasadena.
Oh shit, he knows about Pac-Man. Please tell me you know what's up.
Back then, it probably wasn't the most wholesome place you want to go to. But then again, I'm an accountant by trade. I actually know another accountant. She's a mother of three. She's an accountant, master's degree, works as an accountant in the morning, and she's a semi-pro gamer at night.
Ooh.
She literally plays till 2 in the morning every day.
Ooh, let him have it.
She gets up to get to work, but she does. And that's how she, everybody have different hobbies, right?
You got my vote already.
I'll tell you up front, my hobby is, after I had my child and I lived in an area in Azusa where there's, wild animals in the back. And one time I actually did see a bear. So I went and purchased a firearm. And as any, owner of a firearm should do would be to go take classes, practice, and train, right? And so I remember the very first time my wife said, well, Jack, I'm not sure if you really want to go to a shooting range. I mean, what kind of people go to a shooting range?
He's going to
right?
practice on virtual cop.
And in my mind, I'd never been to one, and I'm thinking, it must be a pretty tough crowd, so I better be careful, right? I went there, and there's actually people just like me, like-minded people like me, that have something to protect, and they want to protect. And that's why they're doing that. And yes, they're lawyers, doctors, accountants, people like me, we're, just normal people. Not the idea that I had before, So you'd be surprised who are these gamers now. And
social butterflies, baby.
I don't know if people realize this, but there's actually professional gamers that make over 6 figures a year. Actually, there's quite a few. I actually know one personally. And so, there is this community, there's this following. So I'm pretty sure if I tell some people and say I like to go visit, shooting ranges and practice my, my firearm, I'm pretty sure some people will say, whoa, why do you do that? That's so dangerous, or that's so wrong, you shouldn't have that, or that's what the police is for. And so, everybody have different views and everybody have different understandings, but from what I've known from the gamers these days, I don't think it's the same as before. It's definitely a different type of people. I think you've seen from the crowd today. And as for where they're looking at, like I said, I'm an accountant. I'm pretty sure it's probably because it's the lowest cost rent square foot available that is still easy accessible, right? If they moved somewhere like really, really far away, it's probably real cheap, but they still want to be near where they were before and close to freeway access. And so this was probably it. I think that's the reason why they probably pick here. And so as for that 15% retail thing, I guess if you think about the reasoning behind it, it would be because you want to create sales tax revenue, right? So instead of flatly saying no, and since this is one of the first times there's a video arcade, currently here, and that's the reason why I asked that question in the beginning, how would they be taxed? How would the revenue for sales tax, the city license revenue be calculated for this, right? And so, if you look at the packet, it says, unless additional public benefits are provided through a development agreement, maybe we can work something out. Every console, X amount of dollars per year. So if you have 50 consoles times X amount, and it's very simple. What was there before, back in 2011? A clothing store. So how hard is it for us to go back and find out, 2-3 years of that operation of that clothing store, how much sales tax that they generated? And as you guys know, the city doesn't get the whole amount of the sales tax. It doesn't get a small amount. Well, how much was that? So let's calculate a replacement. So revenue-wise, it makes no difference if it was a retail or an arcade to us then, right? So that kind of covers the revenue side.
There you go. I like this guy.
As for the blight and current situation, that's currently, I don't think, they haven't moved in yet, so I don't think they're the cause of that. But I can understand where, this is how landlords work, right? I mean, when there's not enough revenue, rent money coming in, there's only so much I can do. But still, they should definitely, maintain the property as much as they can. But I can understand where, and this is by all means not the right way of running a business, but I can understand where maybe the landlord is not maintaining the property as much as they should, right? And so putting that aside, by having more tenants, like the gym and like whatever it is, it would create more rental revenue for them, and hopefully they use that money to improve the area. Well, at least, they have more money to improve that area, right? And
preach on.
Yeah, that's my thinking. As for security, I think they said they're going to have their own security over there on site. The applicant was willing to provide a surveillance camera
and an extra restroom.
Of course, our planner is going to double check with the PD to make sure that Walnut did not have any previous incidents over there at their location. And we could make it where we have an annual review, just like any other project we have. You know how we have an annual review to see if they're still making sure they're maintaining their, conditions and requirements.
Chat, please give this man coconut bags. Please, give it up to him.
I'll be okay to do that, to approve it if they build additional bathrooms.
Hashtag.
Work out some type of revenue generating where we feel comfortable.
Hashtag tan shirt hero. Spread the word.
Making sure that it's an annual review. I would actually feel comfortable with it.
Thank you for your comments, Commissioner Lee. Commissioner Avila?
I think that this is not a personal thing against gamers, and I agree with Chair Avila that this is not the right location. That center, as some of our civic leaders here have spoken about, has had multiple problems, and the city has had a lot of problems communicating with the owner of the shopping center. He was here one night when we approved the Gold's Gym, and he left pretty abruptly, but I bet he never walked in that center at midnight. I wouldn't walk in that center at midnight. And in addition to that, I feel that I'm elected on this board to represent the citizens of Azusa. And if the neighbors don't want it, I'm going to have to vote no, because I respect the neighbors. They live there. And I would like to see the city of Azusa become a place where everybody cared about what happened right where they live. And there's one more thing. I'm against always approving variances and minor use permits because we go against the general plan. And this community spent hours and a lot of resources putting together the general plan, and ever since we put it in place, and it's already over 10 years old, seems to me, in the few months that I've been on this commission, all we do is approve variances and minor use permits. So nothing against gamers. I'm actually learned a whole lot from the people that came tonight. Thank you for taking the time to come tonight. I just think this is not the right fit for our community. So for that reason, I'll be voting no.
Come on, girl.
Thank you, Commissioner Avila. Commissioner Contreras?
My sentiments were similar. I think Azusa would be a good location, and I'll agree with Commissioners Avila and Commissioner Avila that the location, and that location hasn't been conducive to that. Hasn't been a good conducive location to many retail or many businesses, and this is why you see the community members out here today. And as we were saying, it definitely isn't pointed at any one person. It's just been an ongoing something way before you guys even applied. And when they talked about the blind stuff, I think what no one's mentioned yet is they're actually thinking also about protecting your patrons that come in regularly on time and are regular gamers there as well. You know, there's some work that the owner there needs to be consistent on, and he needs to be there. In fact, when we had the World Gym approval, actually he sent his business director. They wanted to speak to the owner, and they thought he was going to show up that night, and he still didn't show up that night. So there's been an ongoing and a strange relationship there between the community and the owner of that property. Just even in addition, I agree with Mr. Rosales with Goal 11 and creating a unique place with a high quality life. It was a little bit of a stretch. I think we could have used a different goal or a little bit of different terminology there, and it would have fit a little bit better there. And also, we still have the issue with the 15%. I mean, we're still over the 15% right now. If we include that gym right now, we're pretty much done. And that's still a consideration to take into. But I would like to see the business here within Azusa. I think there may be a place. I'm not sure if there's a search or staff could help with the search of available properties and or that. I'm not sure what's around, but I also don't think it would be the best fit for the community for that area. If it would be in another spot, it would probably just be some minor ones like the restroom issue, a little bit of parking, etc. But that particular site comes along with a little bit more stigmata that you're having to deal with right now. So yeah, on that note, I'd probably be voting no.
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Watson. If it's okay with the commission, Mr. Watson.
Yes, please.
Go on, Mike. Change their minds,
Once
man.
again, I would like to say that due to the fact that the actual location is quite vacant right now, like I said, that does attract more people to kind of hide in the shadows and whatnot, whereas we're bringing a bright business, like well lit. We have our own security guard on duty, and I honestly feel that will change kind of the aura in the area, whereas when you see, like, not to be mean or put a stigma on it, but when you see a bunch of like nerdy kids kind of playing there, it's not really the place where you'll see, like, you know, the gangsters or that type of people hang out. And that's just not the thing that they do anymore. I mean, all the people that used to be gangsters, they're now fathers and stuff. They don't even hang out, in a sense, in that area. I've spent more than a week in my car. I parked there at night from 10 p.m. till 2 in the morning, and I didn't notice any problems. I've even had police officer just stroll up next to me, ask me what I was doing a couple times. I told them I'm trying to rent this location. I wanted to see what this neighborhood was about before I dedicated myself to this area, and I myself found no issue with anything going on in that parking lot. The liquor store closed at a decent time, and once the liquor store closed, I didn't see anybody holding alcohol or anything. I saw maybe a few guys holding a cup of coffee in the donut store standing outside talking, but I didn't see any, in a sense, hoodlums hanging around like directly where we wanted to rent a location. I also think with the gym coming in, it's going to bring in a lot more light. So once the mall is filled up, I do believe a lot more lighting will be provided, and I do believe that, you know, the people that like to hang around these dim, dark areas, they're scared of people. They don't want to be seen. So we're in a sense here we'll help scare them off too, in a sense. So I'm not sure if that makes a difference to you guys, but that's just what I feel. And like I said, I stayed in that area in my vehicle for numerous days, looking around and seeing if I felt comfortable with it. So
thank you. And again, Mr. Watson, and I'm just speaking for myself, this decision that I've made, that we will be making, is not based on you, your character, or the character of your following. It's just based on what our facts are of finding and our conformance with the general plan, and our findings based on what our job is to do up here. So does anyone want to make a motion? We have 2 resolutions in front of us, or do we have any more comments from staff? No. Okay, before us, we have a resolution, resolution number 2015. We'll take them in separately. 2015-21, resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Azusa approving minor use permit number MUP 2015-12 for extended hours of a coin-operated arcade located at 241 East Gladstone Street. Does anyone want to make a motion?
Chair, if when the person making the motion could please state in the motion what findings or that were not being able to be made, so that then we can go back and craft that resolution to be brought back for you, so that you have on the record the findings of denial.
Okay.
And
I would also ask that the motion, if it is past a motion of denial, that it's a denial of the minor use permits, but also a request that the staff bring back a resolution of denial as more of a formality for you. Currently, what we have before you is a resolution of approval. It doesn't include the findings written neatly. You've made findings today in your statements, and as Planning Director just said, we would like you to make any further finding statements that you wish to make, but we'd also like the opportunity to come back with a written resolution for you. But that you would take the action today, and we would come back with a resolution just memorializing that at a later meeting.
Okay. Does someone want to make a motion then based on the findings and elaborate on their findings? Okay, I'll make a motion for so to ask you guys to come back with another resolution denying this.
We'll need it
based on well, for me, as Gold 10 states in the city that this desires to strengthen the retail and commercial base. I don't think that this does. I think for this, if I can just elaborate, and I'll let you guys put it in your words. I think that we need more retail in this location opposed to an arcade. So I don't think it meets that.
As long as you
that
give
goal.
As long as you give us goals and whatnot, we can craft a language for you to bring back.
Okay. So based on that, I will make a motion that you come back with us for resolution 2015-21, and I would like to make that same motion for resolution number 2015-22.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. You're also making a motion to deny
That's
the
correct.
minor use permits themselves, and requesting that we bring back a resolution of denial memorializing tonight's findings.
That's correct.
Thank
for
you.
both resolutions.
Take away.
And then for the one for the extended hours, I'd like the verbiage in there as far as the safety.
So
for the extended hours on number 5, it states granting the permit would not be detrimental to the public interest, health, and safety. I think it will be detrimental to the health and public safety.
And I believe
that one's for the extended hours.
And I believe we can also put that into number 3, which is the design, location, size, and operating characteristics.
Okay, agreed.
I don't like that guy.
So do I need to make that motion? So all those in favor for the staff to come back with the resolution denying these two? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I oppose.
So we have 3 yeas and 1 nay.
Fuck.
We will bring back a resolution of denial on the next Planning Commission meeting on, is it July?
Fuck!
Next Planning Commission date. That's July 14th. And at that point, there would be a appeal period to the City Council.
So we leave this open right now?
No, you've made your decision.
Okay.
It'll come back on.
Okay.
And it'll come back 15th, and it'll come back to you on the consent calendar.
Okay. So that closes item F1.
I think they're also going to...
Next item on our agenda.
They're going to be going
item
through
G,
each...
unfinished business.
They're going to be going through each individual agenda on here. So I think the next one's going to be the floor
There's no
plan.
unfinished business.
Item H, new business.
There will be a planning commission meeting on July 15th. We're hoping to bring back the Dhammakaya specific plan to you.
Is that it?
We've received most of the comments from the different agencies.
Son of a
bringing that back
bitch!
to you for your first review for recommendation.
Oh,
to
man.
City Council.
Okay, item I.
No reports from us, not that I could think of. Well, I can tell you, the city council adopted a budget, very streamlined.
Okay.
No real
Oh, man, that's
opposition,
pretty
no
rough to
real
hear, man.
Comments, that was done at the last meeting. And then
That is
the
pretty rough
Personnel
to hear.
Board has approved us to fill Susan Cole's former position, senior planner, as an associate planner. So we're going out for recruitment.
Yeah, tweet out the city of Azusa, man.
And then
let them know how you
at the
feel
last
about
city
this.
council meeting, the department, the city council gave us approval to put out for an RFQ, request for qualifications, for on-call planning services, so that
Yeah, I'm gonna turn them down a little bit.
people similar to
Oh
this
man.
brownfield and
So
Melbourne
it's
Tracks
pretty
were
interesting
gonna be
how they were
operated
saying that they're
in
pretty
the year,
concerned with the plaza
to help us with larger projects.
and the people that are hanging around there and all that
it's in,
stuff. It's like it happens if you have a vacant lot where nobody's really opening up anything there. It just brings in more opportunity for people who. Is the Twitter handle? Yes, my Twitter, City of Azusa. I believe Watson tweeted it out. But yeah, I just think it's pretty.
Item J, discussion items from
It's
planning
kind of
commission.
horseshit because like the
Commissioner
ladies are like, I don't think it can be competitive. It's called Street Fighter and Combat. What kind of? Oh my goodness.
First, I have a question from staff, and this is from public. Sometimes people ask me questions.
Let me see if they're trying to get
I'll
in.
bring that up. With the Gold Line station coming in very soon,
Okay.
graffiti and graffiti removal. Because as I drive down Foothill now, I can already see some that comes up, and
Is that
here
Hungry?
comes the tricky question: who's going to be responsible for that? Is it a city? Is it transit? Is it gold? I mean, I don't know.
Depends on where the graffiti is.
Tan shirt hero.
So if it is
Help.
on public right of way or something like along the train tracks, because that came up.
Am I gonna get another job?
Well,
I'm
in
already
fact,
looking for work right now.
We would be more responsible for it. There's some agencies that we just can't deal with.
I've actually kind
effectively,
of,
like
I'm working around also helping the arcade because it's not obviously, even if we get all the motions get denied right now, the plan is to still open up. So and then on my end, I'm still gonna try to set everything up so the arcade can also have a live stream and everything for the tournaments that are gonna be held there. So it's not a matter of me. Like I'm already looking for other work, obviously because I need it. I've been without a job for like 6 months because we've all been trying to, Watson, trying to find the location, getting all the paperwork ready, which costs quite a bit of money. I am still committed to helping out.
And if we can communicate
Opening up a place like this, opening Super Arcade back up, because it's obviously for the community that I've been a part of since it began, since the inception, and then when it became the fighting game community. So I really wish I was there. I would have spoken. I would have said something as well, but I just couldn't make it out there, and it really sucks, man. How can you open it up if it's tonight? Well, this is only one city. We can obviously go to a couple other cities and try to figure.
Night is a Scrabble tournament.
A Scrabble tournament. You're fucking denied the arcade and you're having a fucking Scrabble tournament. I'm pretty pissed off. Forgive me, but I'm pretty fucking mad that they said no. They're like, oh, first of all, the three council members that denied it were not even specifically mentioning anything about the arcade. Like they said arcade and it wasn't good, and like their information is fucking horseshit. I'm sorry, I'm fucking pretty pissed. because like Watson's been working very, very hard to open this up, and you guys know I'm very much FGC orientated person. I always try to help out everybody, and just trying to get this arcade back up and running is like a big piece of it's a big portion of Watson and Watson's life and my life as well, because we've dedicated so much time to getting this, and then going into a city that doesn't even have the proper information. Like when they talk about video games and like the community and shit, it's like we're back in the fucking 90s and Mortal Kombat just came out, and you got fucking senators going, "This is called Mortal Kombat, it's just not fucking good." Shut the fuck up and learn some shit. The only guy that had our backs was Tan Shirt Hero. Hashtag Tan Shirt Hero. He actually knows what's up. He played Virtual Cop. But yeah, it really fucking sucks, because you know we're all like, from all the work we put in from when Super Arcade first like determines came to Super Arcade till now, it's been a long run, a lot of shit, it's a lot of work that we put in, and to get denied really sucks. So I'm PJ Salt right now, because it's like, fuck, man.
So I'll follow up with
you guys have fuck. People have no idea how much fucking time and effort Watson and me have put into this.
We're on it or something like that.
Fuck.
Just wondering if that's the way the system works.
Shut up! You don't know shit! You're still going off of a fucking Mortal Kombat 1. You don't know shit!
And I've seen this with the police department as well.
If you looked at Mortal Kombat X, you'd fucking faint. Shut up!
We usually send out a notice that says that we've...
Oh, I'm so fucking mad! I'm so fucking mad. Son of a bitch, it's been 6 fucking months. All this fucking work. And I don't, what I want to know, what I want to understand, if we get denied and they want more retail in the shopping center, and they're always bringing in the fact that there's people pissing on the walls and litter all over the place, and then the local people have to come and pick it up or whatever. You guys heard everything that they said about them having issues with that mall. How are they going to approve another retail business coming in? Are they going to give them the same issue? Well, we can't have a Starbucks there because people urinate on the wall, and Starbucks is only known for 1 bathroom, and if you don't have 5, we can't allow you to come in. Son of a... I'm so mad, dude. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm so
mad. If someone
mad.
doesn't have access to technology, how do they report things?
How do you even know what the word technology means? Street Fighter, combat. How do you even know? You don't know what technology means. What's? I'm so mad. This lady made me so mad.
I believe there's a way to there's a recording that you can, like
oh shit!
Menu that you can find that, but the person you want to find is Rick McMinn.
You guys should tweet City of Azusa. Find their Twitter at Super Dojo. Tweet them out. Get their Twitter. Tweet them out. I was like, I can't believe you guys just denied Super Arcade to come into your city and bring in all these beautiful, lovable, social butterfly FGC members, Smash players, and everybody to your city. They would potentially improve it. You just denied us.
And number 2,
let them know. I'm sorry. I'm mad. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Definitely a dry season.
I know Watson's got to be pissed. He's got to sit there and listen to all this. Like, you guys just denied me, and I got to listen to all this shit.
Causes, right?
Like, I don't want to be here.
Third, this is why I love this commission. I mean, I vote no. I mean, I voted different from everybody else, but
let's see what he says.
No, we talked it through. Everybody was very cordial, and it's what it's all about. You know, we're very efficient. We're very professional to everybody, and I'll definitely always do my best to maintain that professionalism. And other than that, great meeting, guys.
A great meeting. Tan Shirt Hero. Hashtag the only helper of the community in Azusa.
To this planning commission. Although I can't call you colleague anymore, you're still my friend. And congratulations. Wish you luck at USC, although I'm not a fan of the school.
I hope you fail, asshole.
Education.
Fuck that. Somebody revoke his fucking diploma.
Click it and fix it. The website. I'm going to try it because there's a city-owned property where the hotel's going to go up that still hasn't been cleaned up yet. So I'm going to sense, on the Paramount side still.
I hope there's a professor there watching this. Please deny that motherfucker.
given that we're over, it's not.
So you
it's
want to
not
deny
the-
Super Arcade, huh, motherfucker?
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but
No,
it's just
okay.
the truth.
We've turned that into, you know, the people that are supposed to take care of it,
And again, they cleaned up Azusa Avenue, which is great, but us who frequent Paramount Avenue
cleaned up
on a daily
Azusa
basis
Avenue.
still
I'm
see that
so
eyesore.
mad.
I will follow up with Daniel tomorrow.
Thank you guys for
And
tuning in.
to everyone,
This
have a
is
safe
pretty
and
devastating
safe
news
4th
that
of
we're going to
July.
have to.
The city of Azusa does allow the sales of fireworks. Make sure that you
You just talked about
participate in purchasing
fucking these
the legal
people
fireworks
pissing
and helping
all
the
this shit,
local
and you allow
nonprofits
fireworks.
in the city
You're
of
fucking
Azusa. I'll be
dumb.
working at the one at the parking lot in La Torteca, so come visit me.
We want our
I
community
cannot
to be
give you
great.
a
Let's
deal,
sell
but
some
you'll be
fucking
supporting
fireworks and
helping
burn
out
up
the
some
city of
fucking
Azusa.
houses
So,
and let these
again,
little
have
ass
a happy
kids
4th,
blow themselves
great
up and
evening,
shit
and,
while we deny Super Arcade.
Fucking
Jackass.
This is earlier than normal.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of...
That should be another tweet. How the fuck are fireworks
and it's
safer than
$1,000
Super
fine,
Arcade?
$1,000 fine. So do not like the illegal ones, only like the legal ones on the day.
Even the
Better
safe,
pitch than
insane
arcade.
ones,
Well,
if they are
the business
discharged
license, I believe,
prior
says
to
arcade on there, so he has to, in some form,
July
use the word
4th,
arcade. I'm not really sure on the
a ticket.
Right. So that's
on how you go about
times that
doing
are
that, Neil.
permitted.
But I know that I
Follow
believe that
the law.
on the business license there has to be arcade somewhere in there mentioned, because we are going to have arcade machines. It'd be a little bit different. Oh, there's Double X. He got there late. Look at fucking Mike, dude. I feel for him right now. My fucking heart just sank. Son of a bitch. I can't fucking believe it. Shout outs to Toth. Thank you to Toth. Thank you to Killer Kai. Thank you to Double X. Toth's wife. The other gentleman who spoke. There's Gary Kuso. Thank you guys for being there at the event and speaking out on behalf of some of the community members. We greatly appreciate it. And to those people on the right-hand side, all you old fuckers need to get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. I'm so mad. I'm sorry. I'm going on a fucking rant, and I know you guys are getting tired, but I'm so pissed, dude. All those fucking old people that have been living there forever are still thinking of arcades from back in the fucking mid 80s to the early 90s. It's not the same. It is not the same atmosphere anymore. We've moved on from those days where it wasn't unsafe. And I'm speaking completely truth. A lot of people that have been in arcades as long as I know, they'll tell you right away that back in the 90s, the mid to late 80s, arcades were, there was a lot of shit going down in arcades. Not even just in arcades, but fucking 7-Elevens, liquor stores, donut shops, and shit like that. The remaining arcades that are alive in the country right now are actually they're actually big difference from where we were back then. So if you guys have a local arcade to you guys, even if you guys are not from SoCal and there's a local arcade where you guys live and you guys enjoy the atmosphere and you like the competitions that are going on playing, this is where you have to make sure that you guys go out and support your local actual arcade. So, because as you can see, and their broadcast stopped, so I'm going to take this off. As you can see, it is very, very difficult, especially in California, but throughout the country. First and foremost, the government does not want any new arcades opened up. And then when you go from state to state, and then within each city, it is very, very difficult to get a arcade operator's license. So if there is an arcade opened up near you, make sure you support it, man. If you're like an arcade baby, like me, I grew up in arcades. Shit, my first arcade game was Mr. Dude back in like fucking early 80s. Support it, man, because this is... I'm glad that you guys stuck around and you watched this and you got to see it. This is how difficult it can be to open up a new arcade. And I'm sorry I don't have the camera. All my lights are off. I didn't get opportunity to get up and turn on the lights. Yeah, I know, the fail screen, right? How appropriate. Fuck. Let me pause it. But yeah, it's very difficult. So make sure you support NLBC or Ultra Arcade, all those guys. If you guys are out there, support it. Because once they're gone, 90% chance that they're not coming back. So where do we go from here? I'm going to talk to Watson. And I'm going to send him a message, and maybe he wants to call in. I doubt he does because he's pretty pissed right now. And if I know Watson, I'd probably want to choke a motherfucker. Choke somebody out right now.